This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Maybe I could.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm back.
Yes.
Wow. Wasn't expecting that at all.
We missed you.
Yeah. Wow.
Good times?
Bunch of drunk people in the studio today. I love it. It's the holidays.
I like how somebody has to be intoxicated to appreciate your
Yeah, absolutely.
presence.
Absolutely.
No.
Because when I see people, I get the reaction. But then when they're drunk, they're like, hey, good to see you,
Yeah.
buddy. I'm like, you too, man. Right back at you.
Another round Schroeder.
This one's on me, as long as you smile. All right, let's get to it, guys. Jennifer Aniston is opening up about her last conversation she had with her friend's co-star Matthew Perry. So speaking to Reese Witherspoon for Variety, Jen said she was texting with Matthew the day he passed away. She said he was happy and healthy, he quit smoking and was getting in shape, and said he wasn't in any pain or struggling. Because a lot of people have a different misconception about that.
Yeah, the first thing people saw was what drugs and paraphernalia were around him, right?
Yeah.
And then they had to do an autopsy report and a toxicology report just to let the Perry family know he was walking the walk and talking the talk. And I remember his interview, one of his last, where they said, what would you like to be remembered for? And he's like, I'll always be remembered for Chandler. I can't help that. Like, I will always be Chandler Bing. But what I want to be remembered for is that if anyone came to me and said I need help, I would help them and I would help them succeed. And I want to be known for saving people. And I think privately, that was much more important to him than Chandler Bing.
Right. It's sad, but sometimes you got to go through the fire in order to appreciate people that are currently in that position. Because I think it's easy to give advice when you're giving it from the top of the mountain, like, hey, Erica, stop drinking, and like, why do you keep relapsing, Jeff? But if you've been down there,
walk in the
if
shoes.
you've slept outside,
You've been in that
if
hole.
you've lost family, lost
Yeah.
jobs, lost dignity, lost friends, it's easier to understand where that person's coming from, and it's easier for them to connect with you. So, I mean, it's almost a weirder gift than being Chandler Bing, is being somebody that can talk to somebody like that.
I think as a friend, though, as a friend who's lost another friend, you have to kind of not police yourself, but give yourself grace that you aren't going to be able to deputize yourself as a savior for their legacy or for how their life was perceived, especially when they leave so soon and so quickly. I just know that when I lost a friend for a long time, it was hard for me not to try to come up with a certain institution to blame, a certain situation to blame, or constantly speak out about it on her behalf and on for her memory. So you have to kind of like watch that too from the Jennifer Aniston or the friend's point of view, because of course you want people to know what the truth about your friend was, but I think that that can kind of put you in a spiral for some time.
Especially as a public, if you're in the public eye, I agree.
I hear you. All right, so also in that conversation, Jen talked about what it was like filming her steamy sex scenes with John Hamm on the morning show. Tori likes it. She said she turned down working with an intimacy coordinator, as would Tori, because she's from the old school days, as is Tori, and didn't even know what that meant. So in the end, she said John was a gentleman, and the scenes were very choreographed, so she never felt uncomfortable, which is the way it should always be.
Go ahead, Tori.
No, because please, I'm going to get in trouble if I speak, so go.
What? I'm curious. What's up?
We should not like these characters, okay? We should not like Jen and John together on this show. They are awful.
I haven't seen the show.
However, those scenes
Are hot?
were next level.
What do you mean? The characters are awful people.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
But they're
Because they're fun to look at, both of them.
Sure are.
Yeah.
Everywhere, you know what I mean, John?
I mean, those scenes should go in some kind of a record book. I mean,
Website?
It is.
Maybe we could slow it down?
If they are old school and they, abide by a certain code and it was well choreographed and all that thing, God bless them.
Right.
It worked.
Let me ask you this. If you were married to one of them, would you be a little jealous?
Yes.
Okay.
That's an honest answer.
I would have some questions.
But this reaction, and again, I'm for intimacy coordinators if you're new or you're uncomfortable. But this reaction comes from a sense of improvisation. There's a nuance to it that's a freshness. And if it's so overseen, to me, I would think that would lead to a less sexy approach. And maybe that's my old school, you're right. But I would want to do it if I trusted that person. They know each other from improv. These two have been friends for years. I say they're both comfortable. Again, both people agree. Go for it in a way that feels more like acting, in a way that's more real to you. Again, I don't want to be putting it down, but that's what it leads to.
I would say this. It's very clear that they have chemistry.
For sure.
And they've been friends or friendly for quite some time.
John Hamm's a great improviser.
But otherwise, I definitely see the need for an intimacy coach, absolutely. I mean, people have abused these scenarios for so long, but just bravo.
Yeah, I mean, well, Erica's reaction, you sound like somebody that saw a great sequence in a movie, no different than if you saw an amazing fight sequence in a movie. Having a coordinator for anything, a professional would say, somebody wouldn't throw a punch like that in a bar. Here's what it would look like. Because this is all I do and how I feed my children. So it makes sense, even though it sounded strange when I first heard the idea of an intimacy coordinator. But I think on a movie set, you want an expert for every type of sequence you're shooting. We just want it in our heads to believe that this is just natural.
But she didn't want
She said no to it.
But I'm saying in general, having somebody coordinate those
I would
moves.
feel more uncomfortable with someone there. Maybe that's just me, though.
Well, there's still a director on set, right? And you both agree to what's going to happen. I might put my hand here, it might be here. Okay, cool, I'm cool with that. The coordinator's there, I don't think to make it more romantic, to definitely make it less romantic. Because they're going to be like, you cannot put your hands below here, do not touch this, don't make it skin on skin. So you water it down. And again, I'm all for the coordinator there, but just like everything else that we have problems with, this person took advantage of this did this, you water it down. You water down the jokes. You water down the sex scene. Everything's watered down now, except for old school people are like, hey, you know what, I'm cool with it. Let's just go and see what happens.
Yeah, in a way.
And neither of us are
But do you think the coordinator's saying you can't put your hands here, but here's the way you can position your body so it looks like you are?
Yes, I would think that's
And that doesn't take you out of it if you're trying to act and listen to the intimacy coordinator. Again, we need the intimacy coordinator, but I understand the trust. I'm repeating myself.
What did you say again?
Again, you'd need. Okay. Okay.
Welcome back. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Rita Wilson. She's telling us about her song from My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, and the cast of Taxi reunites, and they're sharing some stories from the set. Wow, look at that.
We should talk about that. Number one, Tony Danza. A couple of instances where you yelled at people on the street for being in your way. I don't like to see it.
He's an old school New Yorker.
I don't like it. Yeah, maybe I'm walking here. Maybe you're right.
Michael Rappaport did that, you wouldn't be tripping.
You're totally. I always thought Tony Danza was like, you're right. You're right. I'm just saying, Danza, take it down.
And Danza's like 70s New York.
You're right.
That's
He's
a different
old,
place.
and he was a boxer. Remember that? Let's talk about this because we never got to it. Amy and TJ on the red carpet. I don't know if y'all saw. It was so annoying, Al. It wasn't PDA. Again, I'm not going to touch Al, and I know I have a consent. I have consent. He's my really good friend. But it wasn't just PDA. It was like this. No. And it was so cringe, Al. And so now they're backing themselves up on their podcast, being like, people don't like PDA. No, people don't like you guys.
Yes, people.
We don't like you guys.
It's a false equivalence that like people don't like. They just don't like it.
They don't like you, right?
It doesn't. Necessarily, you don't have to be a prude to just be like, that looks fake.
It looks cringy.
And there's a weird thing, we were kind of just talking about it, there's a weird thing when people are faking intimacy.
Oh, it's
just because it is something that's come so innate to people.
Totally.
Maybe they are, it seems like they really are in love to some extent. They gave up 2 very lucrative careers to do so. But I feel like now there is this pressure on both of them to make it worth it.
Totally, and to make it like really naughty.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right, you got to make it worth it.
To make it worth it, and to make that bag, because when you both lose your bag,
you need a bag.
Whew, that was a big bag too.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that bag
I hope it's worth it.
It's not going to work with like. It's not going to work.
How do you think they should have done it?
I just think.
Welcome back to DBL. So the cast of Taxi reunited on The View yesterday. Judd Hirsch, Danny DeVito, Mary Lou Henner, Tony Danza, Christopher Lloyd, and Carol Kane reminisced about the show and talked about being friends for 45 years. Just that song takes me back to my childhood. Tony also took time to remember the late Jeff Conway and Andy Kaufman. Tony also said Mary Lou's amazing memory got in the way of their relationship, which started when they were both on the show. Take a look.
I walked in, I saw 6 guys and her. And even if it wasn't 6 guys, it would have been her. The problem is, you don't want your girlfriend to have a great memory. I mean, I'm talking about, she can't, don't you remember? Of course she does. She remembers everything. And so it's just not something you want.
I kind of agree.
I think you and Tony Danza were separated at birth. I really do. I'm not joking. You just remind me so much of Tony Danza.
Yeah, I look at that. First of all, there's a selfish part of me that I'm like, okay, The View got, the reunion.
Right.
But when she was on our show, Mary Lou, I caught her from falling.
You did.
That's my biggest, almost in show business.
I wonder if she'll remember
cameraman.
that.
Yeah.
She remembers.
Yes, but honestly.
That was a joke.
She will, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
She has a
'cause
strong
she has
memory.
A photographic memory.
And not to bring this
Erica didn't fall. She did after.
And not to bring this to Bummer Town, but Tori, you kind of said something off air a couple weeks ago. When Matthew Perry passed away, you were like, I think part of the thing that is really bothering me is that the cast will never be together again. And obviously, they're missing Andy and Jeff Conway. But to see these casts reunite and they still like each other, it takes the people that grew up on that show. Jeff was saying, you remember that song?
Oh yeah.
And it helps you. You don't want to hear that like, oh, my favorite band hates each other.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's horrible.
And you also need someone like Mary Lou, who is the organizer of all these things. She's kept the Zoom meetings going. She's kept this cast together. So she stirs the drink, and she's wonderful at it. And I just have to give it, she's an excellent friend, reaches out. I wish I were more like Mary Lou, but it helps in a friend group to have that person that's like, we're going to get this together, you know?
So in 45 years, who's going to get us together?
Kelly Schuberth.
Yeah. It's got to be
a wonderful producer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe Sam. Maybe you, Erica. Come on.
Yeah, Erica hosted.
You need to den mother this.
Den mother.
Yes, because it's not going to be me or Jeff. Come on.
Well, it'll be fabulous. I'll tell you that much.
And I hope we're friends 45 years from now.
All right. Well.
That's like somebody saying, I love you, Al, and you're like, I know.
Right.
No, but I mean, there is, honestly, Tori knows I love her, but there is.
Turn towards me at least.
Do you guys think that it's like we're kind of lucky that we like each other? We spend a lot of time with each other.
We do.
I'm assuming the cast of The View, no shade, they do the show and split off.
Yeah.
But we moved here. And we don't, if Erica needs something, I'll go over to her house. I didn't have anybody to talk to or to lean on but you guys, so I think we do have a better chance than most.
I hope so.
Yeah. We are a reality TV show.
Somebody give some insurance to Tori down there. 'Cause she's got nothing.
We basically, Tori literally moved like next door to me.
I was like,
That's a little creepy.
I'm here now, neighbors, yay!
No. But it is
Did you do
true
that on
because
purpose?
Yeah, I got her realtor, her Pilates person, her skin. Because if you find someone like an Erica, you do everything they do.
Do you remember that movie,
and
Single
now
White
we look
Female?
alike.
What's the movie where they cooking that rabbit in the kitchen?
That's
Fatal Attraction.
Yes, but do
something
you
like
do you
that.
remember Single White Female? with a woman like became the woman she was obsessed with? I think was Demi Moore in that? Demi Moore?
No, it
Who was that? Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you watch it every night. You're
Well, I'm
doing it
just
to
saying.
Erica.
Well, it's a married black female and a Jewish woman.
That's right. And we're gonna
It's a different pitch. We put a different spin on it to
more
reboot
modern
it.
take.
There you
have
go.
someone like Erica in your life, and you're not going to do absolutely everything she does. It's a
Oh my
huge honor
gosh,
and
Tori.
compliment. I love you, and I
Thanks. I love
respect where you
you.
are in life. I'm a little bit of a late bloomer, so I look for people that I appreciate and look up to and inspired, and she inspires me.
Do I inspire you?
Yeah, and Erica really inspires me. Yes, of course you do. You inspire me to get back into stand-up.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You haven't done it though.
I know. I started practicing at an open mic,
Which one?
the one on Mike's Avenue.
That's
See,
just she
open
just
mic,
lied
that
to my
mic.
face on television about a compliment she didn't even have to give me.
And she only came up with Mike's Avenue.
Mike's.
The open mic at Mike's.
So did you go or you didn't go?
I
No,
am
she
planning
didn't
on
go.
going. Just very.
Wow, you
Wow.
lied to his face.
I'm just nervous.
We're definitely not getting together in 45 years. And it's Bridget Fonda. I don't even know what's that from.
Single white female?
Oh, okay. I was like, they just told me in my ear, and I have no reference to that at all.
You don't remember that movie?
I do now. Okay, we got a wrap. Coming up on DBL, I forgot how to do this. We're talking with Rita Wilson about singing the title song for My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
As Congress debated whether to send an additional $60 billion in aid to Ukraine, some social media posts, including this one with more than 250,000 views, accused Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky of using past aid money to buy luxury yachts. Verify viewers Charles and Barbara emailed us to ask if this actually happened. So, let's verify. Our sources are the Mediterranean Yacht Brokers Association and yacht brokerage companies Benmar and Burgess. The two yachts named in the posts are the Lucky Me and My Legacy. Both brokerage companies say they were not purchased by Zelensky. In fact, they weren't sold at all and are still on the market. A spokesperson for Benmar told Verify the viral claim is totally wrong and false. So, where did the misinformation come from? It appears to stem from this YouTube video that claims to have sales agreements showing Zelensky used proxies to buy the yachts.
Ask your trusted friend to buy a couple of luxury yachts and their names.
However, we took a look at the paperwork being offered as proof in the clip and found it's based on an online template from the Mediterranean Yacht Brokers Association that hasn't been used in more than a decade. So, no, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky did not buy two yachts with U.S. aid money. The yachts are still for sale. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Not only is Rita Wilson a producer on all 3 of My Big Fat Greek Wedding movies, but she's also singing the title song for the latest film. Earlier we spoke with her. Check it out.
Only my Z, free to be whoever we wanna be. We want family.
Very nice to see you. I wanted to ask you, Rita, you wrote Oli Mazi, We Are All Together specifically for this movie, and I wanted to know specifically for you, what did this song mean to you, and why did you choose this specific phrase?
Oli Mazi means all together in Greek, and the film is really about bringing family together, meeting new family, acceptance of our families as we enter into the holiday season, and we might be engaging with family members that are different than us. And so it was really about, at the end of the day, we are all together, and family for me is very important, as you probably know. And so the song was inspired by that.
I love it.
Rita, you've produced all 3 movies, and talking just now of your family, which of your own family traditions did you include in the films?
I had a big fat Greek wedding myself, so we did have the boubonnieres, the little candies that they're making in the movie. Obviously, you know, a lot of family members there. I remember having arguments with my mother because she would want to invite people to the wedding, and I was like, but I don't know those people. And I've never met them, you know, like the classic conversation. But it's important to your parents that they are able to celebrate a good, happy occasion.
Your Now and Forever Duets album has so many legendary artists. Which recording was the most emotional for you?
Oh my gosh. It's really hard to say because I was recording with so many people that I have loved and admired for so many years. Smokey Robinson, Jackson Brown, Willie Nelson. The list goes on, and then people that I admire from today. So I would say that everything was emotional. When they're written, you experience them one way, and then if they're reinterpreted, you experience them another way. So, for example, in something like Slip Sliding Away with Paul Simon that he wrote, that I did with Willie Nelson, for me it was very poignant to have Willie Nelson singing along, the nearer your destination, the more you're slip sliding away, when Willie's 90 years old. I don't think there's anybody that's nearer, that is probably going to live forever other than Willie Nelson.
Now it's almost the new year. Oh, how do you plan to celebrate? And what are your big plans for 2024? What are your resolutions?
Well, I don't ever make resolutions because I think resolutions come every day of your life. You know, we're constantly deciding what it is that we want to do and how we want to live our lives. And I think it's good to sort of start off the new year with a refreshed approach to what you want to do, and we all know what the classics are. I'm going to lose 10 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm going to exercise more
every day.
Okay, those are a given, fine. But I like to look at my year as always saying, okay, how can I spend more time with my family? As my creative life being satisfied? Am I doing what I want to be doing and creatively and saying what I want to be saying? So I do look at those things, but those are ongoing. They're not necessarily New Year's resolutions.
That's beautiful. DBL Nation, you can hear Oli Mazi.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, now streaming on Peacock. And you can also stream Rita Wilson Now and Forever Duets wherever you get your music. Thank you again. Happy holidays. We'll be right back. Congratulations.
More homes in the U.S. have solar panels on their roofs now. In fact, data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration shows residential power installation rose by 34% in 2020. So one WCNC viewer wanted to know if a resident had a fire emergency at home, would solar panels keep the fire department from gaining access to the fire? Let's verify.
Our sources are the NC Department of Insurance, the U.S. Energy Information Administration, and the Huntersville Fire Department. To bring a house fire under control, firefighters will often poke holes in the roof to vent the smoke. This improves visibility inside the home and improves the odds of survival for anyone trapped inside. The North Carolina Department of Insurance says firefighters do face additional hazards from solar panels on roofs. Some of these hazards include the potential of electrical shock from the solar panel system, a greater risk of the roof collapsing during the fire conditions because of the added weight, fire risk from battery storage systems, and the potential for slips and falls while working on a roof with solar panels. Because of this, a fire scene incident commander has to be cautious about letting firefighters on the roof to fight the house fire with solar panels. When responding to a fire, firefighters are trained to disconnect the power from the home. The Huntersville Fire Department says they take into account all of these variables when fighting a fire. And while solar panels can present a challenge and some additional difficulty, they say it's not something they can't navigate. The Department of Energy says you should let your local firefighters know that your home has solar panels installed so they are aware in case there's an emergency. So we can verify that no, if your home has solar panels, it would not keep the fire department from gaining access to the fire, but it could make fighting a fire a little more difficult. With your Verify, I'm Megan Brown.
Poinsettias are one of the most popular holiday plants. Their colorful leaves can range from a creamy white to a bright red. For years, people have claimed that the plant is lethal to cats and dogs. Recent online search trends show people are wondering about that claim as they start decorating for the holidays. So let's verify. Are poinsettias deadly to pets? Our sources are the ASPCA, the American Kennel Club, and the Pet Poison Helpline. Snap open a leaf of the plant and its milky white sap will ooze out. The chemicals in the sap are similar to those found in detergents. If cats and dogs consume them, they may experience gastrointestinal irritation, such as nausea, vomiting, drooling, or sometimes diarrhea. Contact with the sap can also cause skin irritation, including redness, swelling, and itchiness. But all three of our sources agree that chemicals found in the plant's sap are only mildly toxic to pets, not fatal. The Pet Poison Helpline website says claims about pet poisoning from the plant's sap are greatly exaggerated. So we can verify, no, poinsettias are not deadly to pets. but consuming the sap and the plant's leaves in general is still not good for them. So to be safe, the American Kennel Club recommends keeping poinsettias out of your pet's reach during the holiday season. The ASPCA says holly and mistletoe, which can cause gastrointestinal irritation as well as cardiovascular problems when ingested, should also be kept out of your pet's reach. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out.
Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hey Tori, hey DBL Nation. We are super excited to show you the deals today, and believe me, they are great. Check it out. This has got my name all over it, Tori. It's the Personic electric towel warmer with a timer.
Oh, bougie, yes.
This deal includes one towel warmer that will give you a spa-like experience right at home. Morning Save tested several towel warmers, and they chose this hot item because they know you're going to love it. But quantities are limited, so make sure you hurry up and order yours.
I can't wait for this.
Normally this is $200. We've got it for $89.99. That's saving 55%. Next up is the 2-pack Bliss Lights Bliss Glow 16 feet Bluetooth LED strip lights.
Ooh.
This doorbuster deal includes 2 light strips that are 16 feet each. And these are doorbuster deals. They're so popular, there's a limit of 3 per customer, and quantities are extremely limited.
Oh my.
So order yours before they're gone.
Okay.
Normally these are $50 each.
Oh, that's a lot.
We've got a 2-pack for $10. That's saving 90%. Next up, we've got the 2.5 carat TW cubic zirconia necklace with matching earrings.
I like this.
This deal includes 1 necklace and 1 pair of earrings in a gift box. So normally it's $60.
Okay, but
we've got it for just $14.99. That's saving 75%. And then last up but not least today, we've got the iHome Power Light Pro Desk Lamp with a charging station.
Ooh.
This deal includes 1 lamp. Normally this is $80. We've got it for $29.99. It's saving 63%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan the QR code right on screen to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Steph, thank you so much.
Al, whenever I see lights that you could hang up and change colors with the remote,
yes,
I think about you.
Oh, I was doing that this morning.
He's super
this
into
morning,
them.
yeah, I'm doing the recessed lighting, so I'm also doing some carpentry.
You should go into lighting design.
I love
Or
it.
just stick around here. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.